Hi everyone, it is Dina with Dina Inspired, and this week we have been using the Gallery Blooms and the beautiful Gallery papers, DSP. These are 6x6, so many beautiful gallery pieces that you could use just as your card. Nothing more would be needed. They're just so beautiful. But we are decorating them, and we are using our stamps in this one. And we're going to also use our die in this one. I found this, and it is on the back of one that's kind of a black and white picture. And I just love the colors in this. The peach pie is in here, and I really like that. So we are going to kind of focus on peach pie. This will almost be a monochromatic card. Not quite, but just about. I am going to use this die that is in the Gallery Blooms stamp and die. So it has a die that matches it. I'm going to use it as well. So the stamp and the die. And we are going to do a little bit of watercoloring. Now, Stampin' Up! No longer has the water pens, but if you would like a link to some, I would be glad to send that to you. Just comment that you would like a link. They have a blending pen now, and it is on my wish list. So hopefully I'll get that soon. I also do not have a really big block, but I have a block that works. It's not actually from Stampin' Up. If you hear some rumbling while I'm doing this, there is a storm coming in right now as we speak, a thunderstorm. So it is possible you'll hear some rumbling, and hopefully I can get through this before we get any hail or anything like that. I have already cut out my piece and done all this, but I want to show you how to do it. So first I am just going to stamp. Again, we're using this stamp here. It's just a big floral stamp. I'm going to use it, and I just have some black here on my block, and I do not have big blocks either. So that is also on my wish list. Sometimes my wish list gets pretty long. So I'm just, even pressure. I'm not pushing really, really hard, but just kind of even pressure on it just to get it everywhere. And then there we go. So what I'm going to do now is we are going to do a little bit of watercoloring. And I have my water pen here. So I have peach pie that we're going to use first. And again, I push on it, and then that transfers the ink to the lid. What you can also do is get one of your blocks. You could tap your block on your ink pad, and then you would have ink here that you could use as well if you don't want to push it into your lid. So I'm just going to get a little bit of water on my brush and in my ink, and we're going to ink up the brush. And now I'm just going to start painting. Just getting it where I'm not getting everything. I want to get where I think it's going to be darker. Maybe there's a shadow there, and it'll be a little bit darker than the rest of my flower. So not everywhere, not every petal. And maybe in some places it's a little bit lighter, and then I get a little bit more ink and I make it a little bit darker. Usually where a petal meets a petal, you're going to have a shadow. So that's kind of where I am going with this and where I'm adding my color. And because it's the peach pie on top of peach pie, and this is the two-tone cardstock, and I am using the lighter side of the two-tone cardstock. So now we'll go in here and do this flower. And I hear the rumbling. I don't know if you can hear it. It's getting darker outside. So I'm just adding some color. And like I said, it doesn't have to be everywhere. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'm going to go into my bigger flower and I'm going to do the same thing. So where probably a petal meets a petal and they overlap, it'll be a little bit darker right behind that. And then lighter in other spots. And so I'm not even going to put ink to some of it. Right in the center, I'm going to get it just a little bit darker. So that's all I'm going to do on this one. So you just have some color in with the other color. Oh, I see some little petals that I missed here that are probably pretty dark because they're on the back side of this. So there we have that. Now then I'm going to clean my brush, and let me kind of show you how I clean it. So I use the chamois and I just squeeze some water out and then run it over it, and then the ink comes off of my brush. And so then my brush is white again at the tip. Now I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green to do the leaves. And I've already got some in my lid here, so I'm just going to use what I have and just show you again what I'm doing. I'm just adding the green where the leaves are. And on the leaves, I actually colored all of the leaves. I didn't leave any blank because leaves aren't peach pie colored, so I colored them all just to have the green. And then some places I went darker than other places. So the bottom of this one, I went a little bit darker than the top. And here we just am running over all of the leaves with the green. Okay, so I think you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here. So I'm not going to do all of this because I already have one cut out. Why not? I'm going to finish it up. There's just a few left. So this one I'm probably going to do darker because it's kind of at the bottom. It's kind of hidden behind everything else. And there is that. Isn't that pretty? That right there is pretty. You don't even have to cut that out. It's very pretty. So I'm going to put my inks up. Now that we've colored our flower in with the watercolor technique, we are going to die cut this image out. And so I have a tip for you. If you are going to use washi tape to anchor this down so that it stays in place while you're running it through. What you might want to do is fuzz your washi tape just a little bit, and you can do that by putting it on your shirt or on your pants and then just pulling it off, and it just adds a little fuzz to it, and then it's not quite so sticky. And then if you do happen to get the tape on your image itself, it's not going to stick and pull that image off or rip your paper. So you just kind of defuzz your washi tape, and that's just a little tip. And then you will take this to your die cutting machine and cut that out. And so I have already done that, and this is what the image looks like after it's cut. I think it is very pretty. It even has cuts inside here, so that is really nice. So now what we're going to do is we are going to just start layering our card up. This will be our first piece on our card, and I think it all just goes really well together. And like I said, it's going to kind of be a monochromatic card. And add that. Okay, then I have a piece of just peach pie. So this piece here is cut to 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of peach pie paper. Let me find it. I have had such a day today because my camera wasn't working with me, and then we had a thunderstorm come through in the middle of me filming this, and I had to turn everything off and start over, and now I have no idea where that piece of paper is. It has just been one of those days, guys. One of those days. I just had it. You know how that is. Just had it. Did I drop it? What in the world? I did. I dropped it, guys. Okay. So this piece is, no, this is not it. Although I could make it really quick. The piece I had was 4 by 2, so it was going to fit just perfectly. So I will make this my 4 by 2 piece. Bear with me, guys. Like I said, it has just been a day. This piece is not it because it's not even 2, but I had a 4 by 2 inch piece. And I had it right here with all of my other papers. So we're going to use this one. We're just going to go with it, because I do not know where that piece just went. And oh, right there. I knew as soon as I didn't need it anymore. So that is 4 by 2. I'm gonna add that. Oh, guys. Okay, so I have set this aside, and it is just a gold piece that I'm going to add, and I put some glue on it and just let it sit there so that it would not stick to my finger. And I'm putting it right in the center of my peach pie piece. And then we will add our flower, and I think I'm going to add dimensionals to this. I'm actually going to just snip the bottom just a little bit. It's a little too tall, so I'm going to snip it like that. And I'm going to add dimensionals. I'm thinking I can do some small ones down here at the bottom and bigger ones at the top. So what do you think about the beautiful gallery papers? I think they are really nice, a really fun collection that you can just do so much with. Even this, it's not the paper itself. I mean, it is. This peach pie on here is really pretty, but it's not a scene. It's not the, you know, mountain scene. It's not the log cabin scene. It's just a nice background piece. So I need something small. Just for this bottom here. And then we will just put this here. So you can still see some of that gold peeking through there. And now we need a sentiment. So I did cut out some of the More Messages dies. And this one is the one I'm decided to use. And then I'm going to use, it says a little hello with a lot of love. And that is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to use peach pie on here, of course. And try to line it up really good. So a little hello with a lot of love. And I do not have peach pie. That's pretty, it goes pretty close with what's in there, but I don't think I'm going to use that. I think I will go ahead and use this again. And I am not as good at tying these as some people are, but we will get there. So I'm not really sure how I want to layer this. I might put that below that and then put this on the bottom of my flower. Something like that, maybe. I am thinking that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. And I'm not going to use dimensionals since I already have that popped up. So we'll add that there. And I might make this just a hair bigger. And get my little dots here. So have you got this suite yet, or any of the pieces in them? Just remember, you could get some of the pieces like what I did, and they are still 50% off. If you buy one, you get the second at 50% off. So you could buy the dies and a set of stamps if you wanted to. You could add some paper in there and maybe get something from another collection or suite. I am in love. So let's put some little dots on there, and we're going to go with, oh, do we put the little pearls on there? Oh, they would pick up those colors so pretty, wouldn't they? Or do we add golds maybe, because we have gold in here? Let's try some gold. We will do gold, since we already have gold in there. One, two, three. I like the golds, definitely. So there we have it, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you plan on making one of these, and if you do, I would love to see it. So please share it to Facebook if you can, and tag me in it. So just at Dina Inspired, and I would love to see your work. Thank you as always for watching. If you want the dimensions for this card, they will be on my blog at dinainspired.com, and you can also shop all the products from right there as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.